flow. Then we got into a really interesting discussion about NFTs. NFTs, a lot of people talk about them. I'm not like an NFT guy. Sean, you are. This was the one time I've ever had a conversation where it interested me beyond just like academic.
But the reason I think it works for me is similar to you. Like I have so much conviction in my because I'm not guessing out here.
Right.
Research. Like I'm so enthralled right now in NFT life. That's why I'm so addicted, I think. Like I'm addicted to the digital garage sale. What do I think overall? I think people are grossly underestimating NFTs. There's so much that NFT blockchain realities are gonna bring that I think people are underestimating it.
Non-fungible tokens are definitely making a big splash this year. Imagine this. In March of 2021, South Carolina-based graphic designer Beeple, otherwise known as Mike Winkelmann, sold an NFT for a record-breaking $69 million at a Christie's auction. Later that month, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, sold his first tweet as an NFT for $2.9 million. Yes, that much for his tweet. Total NFT sales reached $2.4 billion in the second quarter, and people are starting to pay close attention. Essentially, NFTs turn your digital assets into one of a kind by creating a unique digital signature, which defines the ownership of your assets and that can be bought and sold for real money, cryptocurrency, or any other asset like a non-fungible token. NFTs are not interchangeable. Each of them represents a unique asset owned by a specific person. Each NFT contains information like who owns the asset and who sold it, making it distinct. So why is entrepreneur, author, speaker, and internet personality Gary Vaynerchuk immersed in the world of NFTs? Listen to what he has to say and watch till the end of the video as he explains why NFTs will be bigger than Bitcoin.
By the way, that's what I'm living right now. I'm like, can't function because I literally like looked at my calendar today and I saw I had this podcast, and obviously you guys have done a great job and I'm like fired up about it. But like literally in the back of my brain, I'm like, man, I hope they got caught up or something, because if I get back that 45 minutes, right, I can go more on OpenSea and do a little more research. Like I'm so enthralled right now in NFT life that I'm like every meeting I'm like cutting 5 minutes short to like I'm just, but meanwhile, equally, the only other thing that's got me juiced is garage sale education, because I know it can help people and I love it. It's the same game. Right. That's why I'm so addicted, I think. Like I'm addicted to the digital garage sale.
And so give us like your simplified version of the thesis, because some people kind of like, some people love it, they're in the weeds. Some people just sit there and eye roll. And then the truth is that there's something really exciting going on. And then there's also a bunch that's going to go away in a few years. Like it'll all get swept under the rug. So give us your take.
Yeah, I've been, I'll give you the micro thing on that. I think 98% of the current projects go to zero.
Right.
Like, I think to me, it's the most similar thing to web internet stocks 99, 2000 that I remember. I remember being there. I was young, so I wasn't as experienced and didn't have as many pattern recognitions and reps, but I had a lot of the good ingredients, right? And I remember sitting there and saying, man, a lot of these businesses make no sense. Like just no sense. I'm like, how could they be worth this much money? They're losing so much money. And I didn't understand Wall Street, so I wasn't sure. But when the affirmation of March and April 2000 came along and most things got smoked out, it kind of was a monumental moment for me, because the only stock that I bought was Amazon. And because I really thought it was like a real business, even though it was losing money in a different way than other things. It had an actual business, like back to how Sam and I started, like revenue mattered. Like the other ones didn't have revenue, like no customer gave a, and I'm always like, does the customer care? So what do I think overall? I think people are grossly underestimating NFTs. I think right now, people think of them as collectible and art and flip game. And for a lot of us that have that American Picker, garage sale, sports cards for me, like, and there's a ton of people that love that. Like that's why half of Wall Street, that's where they go. Like there's a lot of those people, and that's amazing. And that's big. That's a big industry. Like over the next 15 years, big. Collecting, flipping, you've got an entire generation of kids that go on Fortnite and Madden and 2K and buy digital assets to flex. So that's gonna play out. But I think that's just a nuance of NFTs. I think people misunderstand the utility nature of smart contracts. I believe in the next 15 years that nobody writes a book with a publisher, they do it through an NFT infrastructure. I believe that in 15 years, nobody launches a record label by having a record label give them the bag. They're gonna get it from crowdfunding by selling NFTs and giving a percentage of royalties. I believe that there's not a single sporting event or concert in 10 years that the ticket is not an NFT, because there's no incentive for that organization and that artist or people to launch it as anything but an NFT, because a QR code or a piece of paper means nothing. But the NFT, if Luka Doncic drops 100 points in that game, that becomes a forever collectible. There's $1 trillion worth of ticket stubs that have sold over the last 25 years on eBay. You know, that all goes to royalties to the person. So what's really fascinating to me, I'll give you a weird one. If you own a home that is wildly unique and is a $25 million home on a beach or something wild, right? You NFT that home right now, put into the smart contract that you get 1% of every transaction of this home in perpetuity, and the first person that's gonna buy it from you is gonna be fine with that. They don't give a because these things are long leads, right? You buy it, you sit on it for 13, 15 years. So like, there's so much that NFT blockchain realities are gonna bring that I think people are underestimating. You are either there or you are aspiring to be there from a professional standpoint.
Right.
For the people that are listening right now who've been fortunate, and we're sitting in this weird moment right now because of crypto and NFT, where there's some people that have really come into some real money in like on making a very smart play. If you're sitting with some money, you know, these are the things you're thinking about. Like, what can I do that like is fun for me, but also leaves for my generational wealth? I want to do that still is good. Like the house is perfect, right? Because it'll be fun for you 16 or 2 or 9 weeks a year, but you're also creating something that's an asset. Let me say it one more time, in perpetuity.
Right.
Like once it goes on there and gets NFT'd, it's NFT'd.
Right.
It is a contract. Like there's the ABA team. Do you know this story about the ABA team from St. Louis?
No.
The NBA and the ABA.
Yeah.
You know this, Sam? This is epic. They merged the leagues. The St. Louis team is out. We're not signing the deal. And so what they did was, it was like, I don't know what the finite details were, but they needed them to sign off to make the merger happen. And they tell them that your franchise doesn't advance because we're folding some. They fight because they really loved basketball. They're like New York, like schmata guys who bought like TV, right? At the end, they go, okay, well, if that's the case, we have to be treated financially as at the time, the 26th or the 22nd or the 24th NBA franchise. And in perpetuity, we get the economic split for that. So we're out of the league, but economy, then we get it. And so as the league exploded,
I think they made like $1 billion or something. It was two brothers, right?
That's right. That's exactly
it was.
It
was two brothers. I think they made like hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions when that was like a different number over those 70s, 80s, and 90s. I do think they got bought out. Like the grandkids got bought out by the NBA, like before the last big deal. But like, wow, exactly. And to me, when I talk about NFTs, I think about the fashion industry. I think about why somebody owns a Rolex. Right. I think about social media. Like, how about this? You know how everyone's like, social media is full of shit. Like everyone takes photos and fakes it. You know what's going to be a much better social identity? What tokens do you have in your wallet publicly?
Yes. Dude, I was thinking about this yesterday.
I would have a much better read on both of you if I looked at your tokens.
Just look at
in
my
5
ETH wallet.
years. Yeah. Like my public wallet is going to represent me because it's not only going to be like what I believe in, CryptoPunks, you know, my VFriends collection, like, but it's also going to be like all my Jets tickets. Right. And I'll give you a good one. I haven't mentioned Dave Matthews publicly in my entire life, but if somebody went if this was going on for 30 years, I'd be like every day on Twitter, I'd probably get a, Gary, you went to Dave Matthews New Year's 99 Madison Square Garden? I'm like, oh yeah, my friend Tokyo Joe loved it. Like, you know, it's a truth indicator. Right. And by the way, one last point. This is what really confuses people. I'm gonna give you such a clear picture that I think will help people. Every one of you has an aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, friend, grandma. When you go into their house, they collect marbles. They collect little miniature elephants. They collect magnets. Every state they go to, they pick up a matchbox. Humans are inherently hoarding assets. And we use them for ourselves because we like it and we get caught up in the nostalgia and the story, and we use it to flex.
Yep.
Flexing a painting or your Winnie the Pooh collection that's epic in your house is kind of hard except for the people that come through. The blockchain is going to accelerate at a scale.
Right.
The way I thought that it would accelerate communication with social, and that's why I think people are underestimating. The first internet collected the information. The second internet created the framework for communication, right? This third thing, this Web3 NFT thing, it's going to capture the consumerization of assets. So for me, I see NFTs, I've been like kind of like flirting in the winter. I have my crazy eureka, like, no, this is the fucking it, right? Moment. I bought ETH a long time ago. Aaron Battalion, shout out, former CTO of Living Social, got me on in 2015, 16. I've been watching, but I wait to the consumer, the normal the marketing agency St. Louis moment, not fucking hardcore infrastructure nerd shit. That's just not my jam. What's interesting about NFTs, more so than Bitcoin today, and obviously things will evolve, it's just functional.
Yeah.
Like VCon makes it functional. Like they're about to get very functional.
Right.
Like the functionality is going to be extraordinary.
With NFT sales of $2.4 billion for the second quarter, it is easy to see Gary Vaynerchuk's point. Once quoted as saying, an NFT has more utility than cryptocurrency because you're getting an asset that you want as a collectible, which is a status symbol. Gary continues to strongly make his stand clear on NFTs. Are you in agreement with Gary Vaynerchuk's prediction on the future of NFTs? Let us know in the comments below. If you liked this video, do hit like and subscribe to our channel for more financial news. Till the next video, guys, this is the Crypto Revolution.